Welcome. As a Muntu, a member of the Bantu race, your serious thoughts on voting is on notice. The United States election results proves the deception of voting to our consciousness. Do you vote? Why do you vote? Who do you vote for? What are the benefits? You have a life choice to make today. To continue hoping that the United States elections, or on that case any other elections, or voting for any political leader will usher for you or me a leader or leadership that will take care of our needs. Not even Bantu leaders support our Ubuntu Maati heritage. My religion is Kamitics, and my spirituality is Ubuntu Maati consciousness. Therefore, I am a Kamitician. The United States presidential elections are something that we seriously should have our thoughts on, especially the results. Here is what they say that we need to think about seriously. Voting was invented to enforce the illusion of choice, and they keep the public believing that they actually have a say in what goes on in their country. The sad truth is there are no governments, only corporations, and they own all the candidates. Otherwise they wouldn't be on the ballot. The billionaires have too much to lose to leave it to chance. Don Freeman, think about this very, very seriously, because the government has no time to care, because it was hijacked long ago by the corporations. We, the people, must help each other. But that is the greatest political chasm to cross. Here are some shocking observations on the recent United States presidential elections. Look at the unusual coincidences around the ages of the participants. We just pick three. Joe Biden is 77 years. If you divide 77 by 7, you get 11. Trump is 74 years. If you add 7 plus 4, you get 11. Kamala Harris is 56 years. If you add 5 and 6, you get 11. And remember, these elections are always held in November, the 11th month of the Roman calendar. Is this a coincidence? We know from 9/11 that the number 11 is an activation code. We know it's also an esoteric code. But for us, what will you gain from these elections? This is the critical question we want to deal with. Do you really think your vote matters, as we have seen? I don't think so. All you should know is that in the United States or anywhere in the world, your vote in any election to select a leader is not important. The key, especially in America, is that your vote can be ignored. Ever heard above many other political and powerful organizations? The feds, the military industrial complex. You see here, the military industrial complex controls the Congress. Even a former president, Dwight Eisenhower, in 1961, you go to this chicotown.com, you find that he said, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military industrial complex. It has happened. Therefore, they have not left their fate and destiny in the hands of the masses or the poor, because they control America and the president of America using many, many, many angles. But when it comes to elections, they use the electoral college system. Who controls the electoral college? And what does it do? This is the actual elector of the United States president. The Electoral College is the process by which the United States president is actually elected. Guess what? The term does not appear in the United States Constitution. In this process, the state's representative and pre-selected representatives elect the president and the vice president on a different day after the voting has occurred. What about voters? Why do you vote? Why do they vote? Here is the shock. Unlike other so-called democracies, during the elections in America for a president, when you vote for your candidate, you are actually suggesting who you want your state to select as the president. But the selectors have also their democracy to choose whoever they want, even against your choice. But there is no constitutional provision or federal law that requires electors to vote according to the results of the popular vote in the states. Some states, however, may require some token agreement or suggestion by the electors to do what the states want. But in reality, your vote has already been compromised. Do you think it's different in other countries? What will you benefit even if you vote? What will you gain from these election results? Who benefits from the Republican or Democratic parties? Are they really different opposing political movements? Have you proved that? Have you looked at their policies in the last number of years? Are they not wings on the same bed, parts of the Euro-Gentile system, within which all other Euro-Gentiles invest energies and a small group controls the earth? Do you think any president will be able to change, for instance, the banking and financial system of the world? Look at what Thomas Johnson says. These are presidents of countries. He says, and I sincerely believe with you that banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies. Andrew Jackson, a Euro-Gentile president of America anyway, said, you are a den of vipers and thieves. I have determined to rout you out, and by the eternal, I will rout you out. He spoke of the Second National Bank. And you remember Senator Ron Paul? All his campaign, go to this website to see what's going on. And therefore, to think that any president in America will change the banking and financial system to benefit the masses, as well as to change the legal system, that it should be fair, and that the police and their brutality and excessive powers can be clipped, is to dream, is to have a nightmare. America is a corporation owned by the Earth's elite. Therefore, it affects everyone on the planet Earth. Although they also have the Chinese model at hand, it looks like for now we are still stuck with the United States democratic system. And the Americans continue as the global police. So voting is not anything that you can think about, because they want to sustain the empire. The Roman Empire continues alive today. You have read perhaps the study of the history and the decline and the fall of the Roman Empire. It is alive and kicking. Just know that. Here's what John Eganberry, Princeton University, said. America's role in the world and the organization of the global system is also on the ballot. The key lesson is that what happened in ancient Rome is still irrelevant. It is possible for a powerful state to retain the illusion of democracy or republican values long after those values have become non-functional. So they want to retain that functionality and give it impact and power. That's why they want you to vote, to sustain the empire. Because many founding generations of Americans saw providence at work in the idealized Republic of America, just like their ancestor, the Roman philosopher Pliny the Elder, who described Rome as a land chosen by divine providence to unify empires so disparate and races so manifold, to bring to common concord so many rough discordant voices, to give culture to mankind, to become, in short, the whole world's homeland. The underlying ideal in the philosophy of many thinkers in America is that the United States, which is a Euro-political system, whether it's a democracy or not, must remain in charge and in control on the earth. So voting is essential to give you the illusion that you are also continuing. Yet at the top, there is an elitist family that runs everything. This has been exported all over the world. Even amongst black African rulers, they train our leaders to become the executives of these corporations, which they call countries today. Even our leaders don't support Ubuntu Bantu heritage. You look at the once powerful ANC, today it has been handed over to a man that was trained and who worked in the labor movement and worked with the corporate world. Despite singing the praises of ancestors and pleading to Mbuyane Handa during the war with the Rhodesians, on Independence Day, the new leaders invited Prince Charles and the Catholics and the Jesuits to finish off their installation into office. Once you realize the big picture, thoughts from the recent United States elections must force any melanin-dominant human to innovate, to unite, and to disengage from voting and ever hoping that elections will usher in paradise on earth. Serious thoughts on the United States election results must motivate our thinking and actions to give us the power of self-determination. Our political, industrial, and religious leaders are messengers of the system that colonized and enslaved us. It's time that we invent our own technology by inviting friendly divinities. Know that other races hate us naturally, no matter what, because of propaganda. But we have to know who is for us, even amongst the melanin-dominant leadership and humans. So we offer this blacked out through whitewash and abridged. Dear people of color, there is a vital, earth-shaking knowledge about people of color, especially black people, that has been suppressed, hidden, banned, distorted, stolen, obscured, lied about, denied, and outrightly destroyed. But it is now coming to light as people of all colors in America and around the world are awakened to the truth. Now hold on to your seatbelts and receive this resource. If you want to receive it, send us your email. It's time to work smarter and harder. This is the lesson from the United States election results. Voting and participating in these fraudful systems only deprives us of the real hope. Don't vote. Organize. Join us. Send us an email. It's time to disengage and it's time to unite and work hard. If you think this is the time melanin-dominant humans work harder and smarter to emerge from this trap, make today that day and disconnect from the other system. And send us an email on join@marifado.com. Mark your email, Pharaoh Rose. This is Preacher Rabbi Elem Tumizulu saying, it's time we learn and move. Till we meet again, subscribe to our channel, Hamiti Buru Ethics. Share our information across to friends, relatives, and other groups. Till we meet again, Edupe, Siabonga, Tatenda, thank you, Henkos.